What is up, YouTube? It's CoolStoryBrobat with the 27th Narrated Showdown battle, and shoutouts to Narrated. And before anyone asks, I have not replaced Wi-Fi battling with Showdown as my medium for posting videos. I know I've uploaded like several Showdown videos in a row already, but it's just because they're easier to get at, you know, they're quicker to do and all that. And I just finally got Black 2 on my R4 and got my versus recorder and all my teams exported to it. So more Wi-Fi battles will be coming soon as I can get some good ones. But right now we're focusing on this to hold you guys off so you don't think I'm dead, because recently I've just started getting some activity. I think I've got like a little fan base going or something. Anyway, this battle's against Light Mew. She's like, "Hey, you want to win an OU battle before I go to bed?" This was yesterday. This battle was yesterday. She wanted an OU battle before she went to sleep, so I'm like, alright, let's do it. I don't play OU very seriously, which is why I use dumb teams like this. This team is based around paralysis, you know, discharge on Porygon 2, Thunder Wave on Dragon Knight and Pharaoh Thorn, Body Slam and Iron Hit on Jirachi, Sub Punch Conqueror, Scarf Rotom, yeah. And also I'm getting a little bit sick. I'm starting to get sick, so don't mind the coughing and clearing my throat in this video. Just a heads up. Also, another heads up, Scarf Rotom usually has Trick in the 4th move slot. Me being the bright genius I am, I decided to replace Trick with Dark Pulse against my better judgment. I'm like, man, I don't even get no mileage out of Trick. I might as well go for Dark Pulse. I'll surprise somebody. Unfortunately, today is not the day to surprise anybody. So, I lead off with Power Wash here. I go for the Volt Switch as she leads off with herself, because, you know, the thing about Mew is it is very hard to predict until you see like 1 or 2 of its moves. And I send out my P2 unit, Porygon 2, and because of the fact that I trace Synchronize on the Will-O-Wisp, it actually burns Mew, which makes things harder for me actually, because Mew can just heal off its damage with Roost, like it just did here. And the annoying thing about that is, if I paralyzed it, I could at least like get the hacks on it or flinch it to death or something. I could slowly kill it while it couldn't do anything, but because of this, you know, I've already set the tone for a very harsh and painful battle. I switch out in a Power Wash here. I go for the Dark Pulse, thinking I could surprise somebody. It's Scarf Rotom. You know, I go for the Dark Pulse again, hoping she stays in and tries to Roost, hoping I get the flinch hacks. But she switches out her Gallade, Justified, just cuz. And I can't let a Gallade wreck me this early game. So I switch out to Liberace as she goes for the bulk up. And I Body Slam, I get the Paralysis, and I get the Paralysis hacks. It can't move. Go for the Iron Head, get the flinch hacks going on. Yeah, we're straight. So it's looking in my favor again. She goes for a Shadow Sneak after +2. You know, just to go first so she doesn't get flinch hacks, but it doesn't do much. It just does not do much. She goes into Gerbil her Latios as I go for another Iron Head, and she goes for Hidden Power Fire, and it does like less than a third. And I go for Body Slam, but I don't get the Paralysis hacks. So, as you can see, Liberace is definitely going to be solid on this team. I go for the Body Slam again as she switches in her Mew, and I switch out because I don't want to get burned by Will-O-Wisp. Porygon 2 is going to be my status sponge here. As you're going to see in the future, I'm going to be doing a lot of switching in and out with this thing, because I know I have Conqueror, but Conqueror doesn't have guts. Like I said, it's Sub Punch Conqueror, has Iron Fist, so it does not like getting burned. So, you know, after that little recovery shenanigan, I switch out on a Power Wash again, and this time I go for the Hydro Pump. Prediction is like a two-sided road to me. You know, I never do the same thing twice. You know, she switched out into Gallade thinking I was going to Dark Pulse. I went for the Hydro Pump, and even though she was paralyzed a whole turn, I missed like 3 Hydro Pumps in a row, and I take a Drain Punch, and because of the fact that Drain Punch and leftovers kicked in to heal it, Gallade can pretty much not get KO'd by a Hydro Pump, so I'm forced to switch back into Liberace, and she goes straight back into Light Mew, and I go for the Wish, and I go for the Psychic afterwards to heal myself up. I go for the Protect to heal myself up as she goes for the Psychic, because, you know, she might have been predicting me to go into Conqueror, like I said, you know, because it might have had guts. You never know. Or she might have predicted me to switch into Porygon 2 and she just wanted to damage it, because her Mew does run Taunt, so it can be very annoying when you're not able to recover. And I go for the Discharge just to do some damage. It doesn't do much. In hindsight, I could have used Ice Beam since it does more damage than Discharge, but neither move gets stabbed with Porygon 2, so it's not like it would have hurt a lot. I knew she was going to Roost, so I switched in Power Wash again, and she switches in Braveheart once more. I go for the Volt Switch, I bring in Dragon Knight, and D-Knight goes for the sub. I go first since she's paralyzed. She goes for the Ice Punch, breaks my substitute. I'm like, alright, cool, let's do it again. Go for the substitute once more. She's paralyzed and can't move. So I go for the Dragon Tail. Since Dragon Tail is negative priority, I go last. Ice Punch breaks my substitute. I Dragon Tail, and it does a pretty good amount of damage for not having any attack investment on that Gallade. So forces out. It brings in Light Mew again, unfortunately. And like I said, I don't want anything else to take burns as of yet, because this team's kind of physically oriented for the most part. I mean, the burns don't really matter much, but it's so much the residual damage they rack up that I really don't want to deal with. So I finally hit a Hydro Pump on Mew, and it does like half damage, but it's not enough to kill it. And she kills it with Psychic. She goes for Will-O-Wisp on my Dragonite as I go for the Dragon Tail. I'm like, awesome, sweet. Now all I have to do is bring in Ferrothorn to set up spikes so I can kill Mew on the switch in, so I don't have to worry about it. She Iron Heads my Dragonite with her Jirachi, and you know, I'm like, alright, I'll let it die. I'll let it die because I want to bring in Ferrothorn safely, and I don't want it to get like para-hacked in the process. So I send this Spike Lee, and she goes for a Fire Punch, and look at that D! Look at that defense! Didn't even do anything. I used Thunder Wave, paralyzed the Jirachi. Now I'm setting up spikes. This is the plan I'm putting in action. She body slams me. She does get the para-hacks. My bad. The funny thing about it is that she kind of hurts herself with Iron Head because the Iron Barbs on my Ferrothorn. And I go for another layer of spikes, ignoring the flinch hacks because you know what? It don't even affect me right now. She sends out Alakazam. I was paralyzed. I was going to go for a third layer of spikes. I tried to stand hoping she was going for Focus Blast or something, but she hits me with Hidden Power Fire. Kills my Ferrothorn. And because I sent in Porygon 2 against her Alakazam, I traced Magic Guard, so the burn doesn't even affect me now. I go for the Ice Beam to kill off her Gallade because, you know, it's not doing nothing. And she sends out her Jirachi, and I go for the Recover. She goes for Wish, trying to heal herself back up, and I go for Hidden Power Fire just to do some damage on Jirachi. She goes for the Iron Head, gets a critical hit. It doesn't do a ton of damage, but it does decent. Like I said, I got Magic Guard, so I'm not hurt by the burn anymore. She keeps Iron Heading me, and I go for the Recover. You know, I'm thinking I can just do this all day. She goes for the Body Slam. I'm burned, so I'm like immune to status over here. I'm like, this is a good position to be in right now. She keeps spamming Wish. I go for the Hidden Power Fire. She withdraws and sends out Latios again as I go for Discharge. And I don't get the paralysis, but Latios is healed up. She gets the critical Side Shock on me. And I know I could have taken that, and I could have just done this. Discharge still doesn't paralyze it. I don't want to take another Side Shock, so I switch into Liberace to take Latios' attacks, because Latios can't do anything. She sends out her own Jirachi, her Momo, and this is just disrespectful right here. Look what happens, yo. Just look what happens. She Fire Punches me, it doesn't do anything, it doesn't even get a burn off on me. And I just decided to Iron Head her. I'm just going to Para-Flinch her Jirachi to death with my own Jirachi. It just goes to show you that Shiny Jirachi is not in the Master Race. It just goes to show you Liberace is the OG of the OGs. And also, if you didn't take a minute to notice on Team Preview, all her Pokemon are shiny. You know, I guess that's how she rolls. You know, it's whatever. Whatever. Shininess has no effect on anything. It's just shininess. It's just the color. Sorry about that. Like I said, I am sick. I'm just sitting here flinching it. Iron Head, leftovers, flinch. 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 One thing I was worried about in this battle was how many Iron Heads I had left, because I was kind of expending them just to kill this Jirachi, but it was the only thing I could do. I mean, I had like 3 Pokemon left in the clutch. She has 4 left. Mew doesn't die from the spikes, though. Doesn't die from the spikes, and that just broke my heart. She got off the roost, and I switched in Porygon 2 because, like I said, I did not want to suffer a burn. And also, because I set up the Wish in advance, you know, Porygon 2 managed to get healed as she went for the roost. She went for the taunt to make sure I couldn't recover. Good play on her part because I actually tried it this time. And I switched back out to Liberace because I know she's going to go for Psychic to add up residual damage on me alongside the burn, which was annoying, by the way. And I go for the Protect here just to, you know, just to block the Will-O-Wisp, just to let the burn damage take its place. And because what I needed to do is I wanted to stall her out of Roost, because once Mew ran out of Roost, which only has 16 power points, it pretty much would have been just letting Mew die slow and painful death. You know, like, it was to the point that I actually at some point hit Control F and looked up how many times she used Roost at some point in this battle. You know, because it was that annoying. I had to actually count this down before I could realize what I could do and balance my options. I went for the Iron Head here. You'll notice I start going for Body Slam because, like I said, Iron Head's running low on power points. Even though I'm outsped and I could risk getting burned. I think, yeah, she used Roost again, and I'm still going for Iron Head. What am I doing? What are you doing, Brobat? What are you doing? Get in the game. I go for Protect as soon as the taunt wears off. And yeah, check that out. Check that out. I knew she was going to go for Roost again. And I went for the Iron Head once more. Oh yeah, because Iron Head had Stab, so it would have hit harder than Body Slam. And Body Slam's only purpose is just to spread paralysis. I went for the Protect to block the taunt. And I withdrew into Moses, Conqueror. And unfortunately, I do it right on the Will-O-Wisp. Right on the Will-O-Wisp. Like I said, it's not Guts. She might have thought it was. And I went for the payback, and look how much that does. Look how much that did, man. That is embarrassing. So, yeah, she tried to side shock, sent in Liberace again, and I'm not playing. I go for the... She sends out herself again, and I go for a Body Slam. And I'm this close to killing. This close. Honestly, if I used Iron Head on that turn instead of Body Slam, I think Mew might have fainted. Might have. From the burn damage, but... Stuff happens. Switched in Porygon 2 to receive a wish. He'll gets a bunch of health back, and now I start. I switch back into Liberace again because you know I knew it was gonna taunt to block me from using Recover. I switched back into Porygon 2 to take the Will-O-Wisp that was coming, and I went for the Ice Beam now because, or did I go for Recover? I think I went for Recover. Oh no, I went for Discharge. Why did I do that? I was afraid she might have tried to go for a taunt. Just, I don't know. She does it now, and yeah, I'm like a turn late on it, but, you know, whatever. I think, you know, Porygon 2 is close to dying. I decided to fodder off Moses, because the thing I want to do most is just let Mew use up as many moves as possible. Gets the critical Psychic on Moses, and I'm like, really? I mean, not that it really mattered that much, but, you know... It's like a surprise critical hit out of nowhere. He didn't even get a chance to do anything. He just got killed. He got burned and then died a lousy death compared to what he usually does for this team. So I'm setting up wishes over here, switching out to Porygon 2, and it hits me with the Psychic, and it comes close to killing me, but not close enough. Not close enough. She goes for taunts. I see it coming this time. I go for Ice Beam since it out damages Discharge, and I know that it actually does a good amount. It did like a quarter, and I thought she was gonna go for Psychic. She goes for Will-O-Wisp, and just observe what happens here. I go for Protect after she misses Will-O-Wisp. You know, she missed her first Will-O-Wisp. She went for Roost to heal herself back up. I should have Body Slam, but you know, whatever. Switch back into Porygon 2 to sponge another Will-O-Wisp because I'm really not trying to let Jirachi go down. And sent out Liberace again. Missed the Will-O-Wisp. Look at this. Just look at this. I go missed it again, and I'm just going for Wish here because I want to heal up Porygon 2 to sponge the status. She goes for Psychic thinking I was going to switch out, and I knew Porygon 2 wasn't going to be able to take it, so like I said, I'm just trying to run this thing out of moves here. You're going for the Protect and such. She's using Roost. I mean, it's kind of annoying to see it heal back up, but at the same time, it's sort of like a countdown. We just hit turn 100. And just look at this. It's like 4-2. But you haven't even seen it yet. She finally burns me and hits me with taunts. And I'm like, oh. But it's cool though. You're about to see something amazing. I switch in Porygon 2 here because now there's no point to your existence. Porygon 2 goes down. And now it's about to get real. I'll pause it right here. Take a look. I have Jirachi. I burned Jirachi at like max health or something. Whatever. Somewhere near that. She has an Alakazam with Magic Guard. Latios with Hidden Power Fire. This Mew here. This Meloetta that I haven't even seen yet. But it probably can't take me on. Now here's the interesting thing. Her team can't handle Jirachi. Her team's not going to handle it. But. Oh my goodness, man. Just take a moment to take this in, man. Just take a moment to take this in. Because I'm about to go hard. I'm about to go clutch mode. Clutch mode engage. You're about to see something sick. I send out Liberace here. I go for the Protect. She goes for the taunt, trying to stop me from setting up wishes. And like I said, I think everything I've done up to this point, I finally managed to run her out of roosts. So I'm just going for the body slam. She taunts me, so I can't use Wish or Protect to recover my HP. So she goes for Psychic here. Critical hit doesn't even do anything. I go for the body slam because, like I said, I was running low on Iron Heads and I finally started to realize it, and I did not want it to catch up to me. So she goes for Psychic. I go for body slam again. She's about to go down, but she just doesn't go down. The taunt wears off on me this turn, so, you know, just to save myself, I go for Protect because I don't think she's going to switch. Because I don't want to get taunted again, because I'm going to need Wish to save myself here. Mew finally faints. She sends out Alakazam. Hidden Power Fire only does 29% to me. 29% as I go for the Wish. And I go for Protect to heal myself back up. Man, she can't even break me. She can't break me. I'm going crazy right here. I'm on the edge of my seat. Just hanging in here. I go for the body slam. Get the paralysis on Alakazam. Now, all like 20-something people who are spectating this battle, I said cross your fingers. Cross your fingers. Alakazam was paralyzed. It could not move. I got lucky as I set up the Wish. I got the Protecting. You know, I'm healing myself up here. It's time to go hard. You know, I go for another Wish, and because I'm about to start Iron Head spamming. And I set the Iron Head right here to get the flinch hacks. I get the hacks, and even though I'm burned, it still does a ton of damage to Alakazam because it's pretty frail. And because of this burn here, I feel like I might die again soon. So I went for another Wish just to make sure I could handle Latios later on. But she hit powers me again and she gets a critical hit and I die. And that's how the game ends. That just broke my heart, man. That just broke my heart. I was about to go in. You don't understand. Like, seriously. I could have wished again. If she didn't get that critical hit, I would have just barely hung on. I would have healed myself back up again to a good amount of HP, like above 50%. Would have Iron-Headed Alakazam afterwards. I would have killed it off. She would have had Latios out. It wouldn't have been able to kill me with anything. I would have done the same thing to Latios eventually, setting up Wish, you know, body slamming, Iron-Heading. And Meloetta, same thing. Because the most Meloetta could have done is like close combat if it even ran that. I don't know what it ran because, like I said, it didn't set foot in this battle. But, oh man. It was heartbreaking. I was on the edge of my seat. I was about to make a really sick comeback, but it got stopped short by the Hax Gods. They were not on my side today. But anyway, good game, Light Mew. I will see you guys around. Thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, favorite. And there will be more battles on the way soon, so please stay tuned. I am not dead.